Ralph here, and welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this fabulous Friday. Life's good, guys. Life is good. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. You want Doc's Virtuosity? Practice. But wait a minute, Ralph. You said we didn't have to practice. Let me explain. Let me explain. Let me honk a little bit first. I have played a lot. All right? Ease, baby. Locked in. Life's good. E's above double C, big as a house after 2 hours of playing. 320 kettlebell swings, combination of two-handed swing, one-handed swing, snatches, and overhead presses. Combination, but 320. About half an hour SFE. Did I already say this? Doesn't matter. So, what's the one way to get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. How do you get virtuosity like Doc? Practice, practice, practice. Now wait a minute, Ralph, you hypocrite. All you do is tell us you don't have to practice. You're going away to Arizona for a week. You're not going to practice for what? 8 days, and you're going to come back and you're going to play double C's and guys, that's your chops. We're not developing the muscles for that. So time off does not throw you for a loop. Technique, however, that's a different animal. And that does throw you for a loop. I've made no bones about it. When I come back, the chops feel spectacular because I haven't been beating them up or anything. The technique, a little off kilter. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Just like chops, things come easier to some people than they do other people. Okay? Wayne Bergeron talks about it incessantly. Middle school, he just wakes up one day and he had double high C's. Couldn't play low C's, but the double high C's were killing him. The upper register just comes easier to him than it does other people. Doesn't mean we can't develop Wayne Bergeron chops. Louis Dowdeswell, I can only think that the upper register comes quite easily to him. Virtuosity, now I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm thinking the virtuoso technique came quite easy to him. I do think he has to keep up with it and play his routines and all this sort of stuff. But it probably came a whole lot easier to him than it did to Doc Sevens. Okay? Now, when we think of Doc Sevens and we think this high-octane Tonight Show band, Hollywood, Vegas, glitter and glitz and pop concerts and you know, all this stuff. Memory from Cats with the... That's what we think about. But the fact of the matter is, guys, he had virtuoso technique. He does. Okay? And I've done this before, but I'm going to leave a link down below of him playing Carnival of Venice, the Stagers version. And he does it just as fast, just as clean, and with just as big a tone as Stagers. He has Stagers technique. Now, that was sort of his calling card when he was a kid. He'd run around the stage doing all state, this and all that, played this Carnival of Venice. So he's got it locked in. But guys, he has all that. Now, I've said a zillion times, it doesn't take you one bit of practice to develop chops. To have, you know, to have good attacks, to have accuracy and all, yes, you have to practice, okay? for my money, the technique is a different story. Now, I love the arbor. After all those years of just killing it on Clark, I almost can't stand it anymore. I use it in my training and my teaching, but I can't stand it anymore. Doc, on the other hand, he played arbor, but that was his Bible. And he went from number 1 to number how many, cover to cover, at least once a day. And if he had time, he would turn around and do it again, as many as 3-4 times a day, cover to cover. Guys, you do that, you've got some technique. Now, a couple things about the Clark before you go killing yourself, like I did, okay? And guys, buy a mouthpiece. Take a lesson. I'm going to be going some lessons, numerous lessons. I'm going to be going for a week. I can't send any mouthpieces or teach it off. We schedule all my teaching. But guys, listen. Listen. I can't put the mouthpiece in the mail until I come back. But I am going to have my laptop. I can answer any question you want. I can take any order you want about books. I can definitely send you books. Guys, that newest ebook is just selling better than it ever has. Any of my books, that's selling. Little Jerry on the front, Vacchiano and me, Mel Broyles and me, John Ware and me, Jerry and me. People are loving it. Okay? $10. Now, I can send those to you. I'm going to have time in a hotel room, just me and my laptop. My wife, her laptop. Yeah, consider it done. I can do everything except I'm not going to teach, and I can't get a mouthpiece in the mail. Okay, mouthpieces have gone up. Okay, they've gone up to $200 and $10 for shipping. Okay, in the U.S. Everything else. The books, $10 a piece. If you want to get more than one, I can make you a little deal. 15 for 2, 20 for 3, stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Doc and his technique, guys. That is doable, but that, I'm the first one to tell you, is grunt work. It just is. And that is where your dedication comes in. If you want that, that is what you have to do. You have to put the time and effort in. Now, I make no bones about it, guys. I don't do that anymore. I used to. I used to model myself after Doc. If Doc can practice 3 hours, I can practice 4. If my competition is practicing 2 hours, I'm going to practice 4 and 5 and kick their butt. That was my mindset. But the problem is, I didn't have the foundation of the chops at that time, and all I did was crucify myself. It was not doing any good. All right? But if your chops are right, all right? Now listen carefully. If your chops are right, when you practice the Clark, there's a couple things that I prefer that he doesn't. Okay? First of all, I do not, and Doc didn't either, I do not believe in playing everything super soft. Hours and hours and hours of super soft is not doing your tone, power, range, and endurance any good. It might loosen up your lips. That's what Herbert L. Clark was trying to do with the soft. But I don't believe in hurting your lips in the first place, okay? Now, I don't believe in blasting your brains out either. Even though I get an enormous tone, I'm using little air, and I play these at a mezzo forte to forte, if I do them, and I have all my students do it at a full tone. Then he wants you slurring everything. We are trying to build up the tongue and the tongue action, so I have you tongue everything. Bup, 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 bup. And the last but not least, you probably guessed it, he wants you to do it as many times as you can in one breath. I say breathe when you have to. Okay? I don't mind breaking up phrases if you feel yourself crashing. That is the way I roll. That's how I build up my chops, and that's how I build up my technique. All right? If you want Doc's virtuosity, you got to put it in play, the time. Okay? Okay, I might put something up this weekend, a quickie. I'm not sure. I'm going to be very, very busy getting ready for the trip. And then I'm out of town. I'll see you again a week from Monday. Ooh, I'm going to miss you terribly, guys. Anyway, enjoy. Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. And as I said, if you want to order something, if you just want to communicate in any way about chops or send me a video or anything like that, I am going to have my laptop and I will be active in that way. All right? All right, guys. Love you all.